down with Herm's help. And I still remember that day because David was so happy when he caught the fish, but when Herm fried it, and David was quite sure he wanted to eat the fish that he had caught. But David loved Herm. Paul loved Herm, and Laura loved Herm. He was so good to me. He was so good to my family. And while it says that he worked for me for 7 years, he actually worked for me probably about 27 years. He got paid for 7 years, right? I stood up the other day in the House of Representatives and asked permission to speak of Herm. And let me read what I said here. I had a bigger copy printed so I can see without my glasses here, right? But Madam Speaker, it is with a heavy heart that I rise today and pay tribute to a man that I consider a father, a brother, and a friend. Sadly, Herman Neurohr passed away on July 15th at the age of 86. I had worked with Herm for most of my adult life, and I will miss him immensely. Herm Neurohr was born on September 21st, 1923 in Flint, Michigan. At the beginning of World War II, he joined the Marine Corps and was stationed in the Pacific Theater. At the conclusion of the war, Herm returned to Flint and worked for many years at Buick Motor Division of General Motors before retiring. It was during this time that I became acquainted with Herm. Herm's son Neil was one of my students when I ran for a seat in the Michigan House of Representatives in 1964, and both became active in my campaign. Herm has been an integral part of my life since that time. He quickly became my #1 volunteer and the go-to guy to get any job done. I have fond memories of Herm and his wife Hazel helping out not only with campaign work, but daily tasks and babysitting my children right here at this lake. I still have the letter Neil wrote to me from Germany in 1969 asking that I make Herm the campaign manager. It is a decision that I have never regretted. In 1976, when I was elected to Congress, the first person I hired to be on my staff was Herm, and he ran my district office for 7 years. He loved politics and government, and he was loyal and inspired loyalty in others. He helped me lay the framework for my district office, a framework that has functioned successfully for more than 30 years. That same framework is in place today. As a member of the VFW Post 4139, Herm helped construct the building. He loved working with his hands and built 3 homes over the years. He traveled to Arizona in the winter and made 7 trips to Germany to visit relatives. Neil and his daughter-in-law, Carol, were able to accompany him on 2 of his trips. Left to treasure his memory are Neil and Carol, his daughter Kelly, special friend Shirley Wager, many relatives and friends. Herm was deeply devoted to his family and loved to spend time with his grandson, Nick, and Dustin Stevens, and his great-granddaughter, Asa. Madam Speaker, it is a profound honor for me to ask the House of Representatives to join me in a moment of silence to remember the life of Herman Neurohr. He changed the way I viewed the world, and I often remember his advice when I am contemplating a problem today. His wisdom was pragmatic, direct, and grounded in common sense, and I always welcomed his input. Even after he retired, I would talk to him about critical issues. Even though I am saddened by his passing, my memories of Herm warm my heart, and I will cherish the time we spent together. Neil? Where are you, Neil?
Right here. Jack's coming. Jack and Margaret's coming.
Here's my brother, his wife. Neil was, you were in my Latin class some of the time. Occasionally he took a day off, you know, but he passed the course very well. Passed Latin very well. He was very intelligent student. And when I ran for office in '64, he brought his dad into the campaign.
He kept the trailer lights going.
He kept when the trailer bumped off the railroad track that one time, he fixed that too. Herm could fix anything. He could fix even broken relationships. Very, very, very good. He had wisdom, he had knowledge, he had sensitivity. And, you know, I'll be 81 years old in September. And I can say that I am a better person because of Herm Neurohr. Not just a better congressman, not just a better human being, but in many specific ways. I saw the love he had for Hazel and the way he gave her such kindness and love, particularly in those years when she needed someone to help her. It was great love, and that has made me a better husband, seeing what he did for his wife, Hazel. Buddy, you're a dear friend. You're like a son to me, too, like a third son. And I can still remember the day when David caught that fish out there. But I want to present to you this official congressional record. You can hold it and show the people. This is not just a get well card or a sympathy card. It's a celebration of life contained in the official congressional record. Copies of that will be kept forever in the Library of Congress. As a matter of fact, in case we are unable to keep the peace, extra copies of every congressional action, including this is an official action of the House, are kept buried deep in the mountains of Maryland. So 1,000 years from now, archivists can pull those out and know that we were honoring Herm Neurohr. Neil, thanks for sharing him with us. God bless you. God bless you all.
Thank you, And I would just like to thank Donnie and Joan and Tim and Donna and Dr. Mike and his wife Marcia. And Dale, you know how I feel about you.
God bless you. God bless you, Neil. Neil's one of my successes when I taught school.
I want to get a picture. Come on, Dustin.